Right now is a really funny time, and there are only a certain amount of locations that are open to dog owners, public spaces that maybe they can take their dog for a walk and get out and stretch their legs a little bit. Something that's kind of troubling to me that I've seen an increase in on the social platforms is incidents with dogs to other dogs, especially in environments or public spaces where there are clearly posted leash laws. A lot of times I'm seeing dogs who are off leash, who are coming up to dogs who are on leash. Now, if you're one of these people that think that leash laws maybe don't apply to you, we need to talk about why you need to do the right thing and keep your dog on a leash. I'm Ken Steep, and welcome back to McCann Dogs. People that would have gone to a leash-free park in the past, they're now going to some of these public places with increased traffic and more dogs and some people who are maybe walking their dogs on leash, and they're treating them like leash-free parks. Now, we need to talk about all of the reasons that that's a really bad idea. The first reason you need to keep your dog on leash is pretty simple, and I can't necessarily relate to it, but even with the current social distancing requirements and all of the bylaws and regulations that are out there for maintaining distance from people, these public spaces are going to be busy, and it may be people who don't like or are afraid of dogs. Now, I don't get it. I can't relate to those people, but I do respect their opinion and their feeling and the idea that they should be able to use these public spaces without the worry of an off-leash dog coming running up to them. We really need to be advocates for our dogs, and simply having your dog on leash is going to allow you the opportunity to go there again. It's going to create less controversy and issue with people using this space as a great space to exercise their dogs. So keep that in mind. Now, a large majority of the behavioral private lessons that we do involve dog-to-dog incidents where the owner's dog who comes to us, their dog has displayed some kind of defensive aggression. Now, it doesn't really matter whether you shout out, "Oh, it's okay, my dog's totally friendly." It really doesn't matter if you believe that or if they really are friendly. But for that person who is in that park following those leash laws, it really can elicit a dangerous response from their dog. Now, whether your dog's happily bounding towards that leash dog or they're head down on a direct path, aggressively approaching or intensely approaching that leash dog, the dog that's on leash has a limited amount of ways that they can respond. And this is only made worse by their owner's natural response, which is completely understandable considering the situation. Let me tell you that dogs' behavior can change dramatically and give completely different responses when that dog is on a tight leash. Even rock-solid dogs with incredible temperaments who are socialized well can be forced to react when they're put in a situation where they have limited options. It's really not a situation that you want to put your dog or that dog in. Now, I have to acknowledge that people are spending a lot more time at home with their dogs now, and they're starting to recognize that their dog needs more exercise, needs more work, needs more training, needs to spend more time with them. But what we're seeing is a lot of people who have maybe never really trained their dog. They're going to these great wide open public spaces and they're just allowing them off leash. And I'm not sure whether it's to exercise them faster or if they think that's ultimately what the dog wants. But I'll tell you, if you have any ambition or aspirations of having a dog who loves to listen, this is not a good way to set them up for that. This is not a great way to reinforce that you're worth listening to when your dog just has a free-for-all with other dogs, or in these wide open spaces where they don't have to listen without you having some way to show them how to be right. Now, with the amount of bad experiences that we've seen students have coming from leash-free parks, I do acknowledge that it's a conscious decision to go into these places. Once you're in there, the expectation is all the dogs will be off leash. If you have a problem or another dog has a problem, you can remove them from that area. In these on-leash parks and spaces that are available to everyone, there's some expectation that if your dog isn't comfortable around other dogs or another dog loves to bark and lunge, that owner or you will be able to have some control and redirect the dog away, maybe get some distance, work on it, whatever. But imagine this for a second. Imagine that a dog owner had been working really hard over the past 6 months with their dog aggressive dog that would bark and pull at other dogs that were across the street from them. And now, because you don't feel like following the leash laws, you're putting this dog into a situation where that owner's worked their butt off and that dog's been working hard to try to get over some of that behavior. Now you're putting them in the most challenging situation possible and really overwhelming them with another dog face to face. It doesn't doesn't matter whether your dog's friendly. Maybe that dog isn't, and you have no idea the negative consequences that can come of that. Or how about those worried dogs? You know, we get them in classes occasionally. We have a dog that's worried about the world, and we spend extra effort showing them that the world is a safe place to be, that other dogs are, it's okay to be around other dogs. And it's amazing to see that transformation, to see them come out of their shell a little bit and confidently move around a room or remain in a sit stay. Imagine that worried dog and that dog owner who's worked their butt off now has your happy-go-lucky friendly dog bouncing all over them. They really, you've taken them from a situation where they started to see the world as a safe place, and you've just had them realize their worst fear, that they don't have control and that they need to be very aware and cautious of all of the other dogs around them. Or let's look at it this way. Let's say your dog is very friendly. Your dog goes bounding in, happy, wants to play with this dog who is fear aggressive, who isn't ready for this kind of social interaction. And your dog gets in a fight or your dog gets bitten. Are you willing to invest the next several months teaching them that that breed of dog is okay or that location is okay to go to? Are you ready to work through walking on leash so that they're not barking and pulling at every dog that goes by? Are you really willing to roll the dice on your dog's behavior and invest the next several months trying to fix whatever problem you just created? It's just not fair to them. There's so many reasons why a dog should be on leash in these public places when it comes to like skills and behavioral training. But for the next little while, I want you to think about what's fair. As these more places open up and you have more opportunities to take your dog to different places, think about what's fair to other people, what's fair to other dogs, and what's fair to your dog. When we get a dog, we sort of enter into an agreement to give them the best life possible, but also to keep them safe. And if you can't keep your dog, stop your dog from getting into a situation that can hurt them, then it's not fair to ever take them off leash. And if you're going to go out and enjoy some of the public spaces that we have available right now, then it's your responsibility to make sure that you aren't preventing other people from enjoying them as well. Now, this discussion has revolved around exercising our dogs a lot. And if you're looking for some simple ways that you can exercise your dog quickly that don't involve going for a walk, make sure you click that card right there. And if this is your first time on the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We publish new videos every week to help you to have a well-behaved, four-legged family member. On that note, I'm Ken. Happy training.